This is from chapter 6 of Dream Crossing. "What did you think of my demonstration this morning?" Felder asked after a moment. Duncan answered cautiously, "Your skills are exceptional. As for the news of a coming war, I wonder what I have to do with that. I am not from here." "Understandable," said Felder, "yet I feel compelled to tell you, as you are no doubt becoming aware, that it is no accident that you arrived in Laster at precisely this time in our history." Felder had been watching Duncan's face since he first entered the tent that evening. He had reached a decision, and his demeanor grew serious. "Duncan, the king has heard you are here, and he wants very badly for you to come north to train and fight with us. We will also train you in the magical arts. I believe I know what you are capable of. We all see it." The wizard looked around the table. The other three nodded in their agreement. "The kingdom of Palin needs you." Felder took a gulp of wine from his goblet and added, "King Tarrant means to reward you handsomely." Staring at Da now, he said, "Once we defeat the threat from the south, you'll be free to chase monsters." Duncan put down his spoon and collected his thoughts. Finally he spoke. "I need time to think about this." The two people in blue robes left the tent. Feldor softened his tone. "Of course, Palin is a kingdom of laws. You are not bound to this. You are free to choose. I only caution you that your future is closely tied with ours. If Palin falls, your fate may suffer as well. Join us and you'll find our training can lift you to heights you can't imagine. Laster is home to some foul creatures. With my training you will become a great wizard, one to be reckoned with." Felder plunked his goblet onto the wood table. "Ah, here's our next course." Duncan drank more wine and considered his feelings, cross-referencing them with rational thoughts, and failed to come up with a decision. "You make a persuasive case." Duncan took a deep breath. "I think I'm in love with Alisteria and she with me." Da, who had been silent up until now, informed Feldor, "Alisteria is Mayat's niece." The wizard was visibly surprised. "How old is this gypsy?" "She's 17, Da answered. "Too young to join the army, and furthermore compelled to stay here out of familial obligations." Felder considered this for a few moments and then cleared his throat, his tone deadly serious. "How do you feel about the prospect of Alisteria becoming a slave to a foul brute, or being devoured by some ghastly creature here in Gypsy Gorge? If the king's army falls, this is a real possibility." Duncan shifted uncomfortably. The wizard's point was as severe as it was compelling. Feldor continued, "Da and I both know Horag's plans. He means to enlist an army of ghouls to aid his men. These ghouls live to feast on the carcasses of the dead or the near dead. They are swift and tough to kill. In short, if you join us, we have a better chance of preserving our culture and our very lives." Felder lowered his voice. "Staying here at best delays your destiny, and at worst plunges your destiny into the shadow. Do you really want to take that chance?" Duncan thought for a moment, then said, "Feldor, I'm flattered by the confidence you have in me, but I'm only 15. I have no training in warfare or magic. Even if it were possible for me to become a skilled warrior and mage, it would take several years at best." Feldor had anticipated this objection. He answered it with a quick question. "Did you not tell me that one of your first spells made a stone glow orange? You weren't seeing things. You are a natal, meaning you come by magic naturally. You can learn all you need in a year and be battle-ready as well. Don't doubt yourself, Duncan." "I still do not see how one person can make that much of a difference." "One person, one warrior cannot, but another warrior-wizard could tip the scales." Felder threw a fork lightning fast at Duncan, who easily caught it in midair before it struck his head. The old wizard pointed at his temple and chuckled. "That's what I'm talking about." Duncan placed the fork on the table, his hand shaking with surprise. After dinner with Feldor and the others, Duncan was to meet up with Alisteria at the falls. He had left the tent, full of food and thoughts, and turned right into the heart of the woods. Alistair was right, thought Duncan. He made his way quietly through the forest. The full moon illuminated the path for him. Hal said it would be a single full moon tonight. His thoughts were interrupted when he caught a glimpse of green darting behind a poplar tree ahead. Duncan stopped and stared at the tree. The green was the clothes of a half-dressed woman who stood no more than 1.5 feet high. She peered at Duncan as she stepped away from the silver tree, gave a light-hearted giggle, and disappeared into the thick of the forest. A cloud passed overhead, and the forest lost its luminosity. A cold chill descended upon Duncan, and a dark energy passed. He froze, gripped by a nameless fear. After what seemed an eternity, moonlight peeked out again. Alistair found Duncan. "Are you okay?" "I was worried." Duncan nodded. "Come, we should get to the falls," she said, pulling on Duncan's arm. In moments, Duncan and Alistair reached the edge of the basin that collected the water from the falls. Still shaken, Duncan stammered, "I'm glad we're together now, Al." He gazed into her blue eyes, framed by soft blonde locks. He was sure there wasn't a more beautiful woman in all the universes. Alistair studied Duncan's face. She broke the silence, saying, "Feldor made a request of you, didn't he? He wants you to go north with him." Duncan tried to make light of his talk with the wizard. "Apparently I'm the one who's to become a mighty warrior wizard and single-handedly save the kingdom. Oh yeah, and something about demons and other vile creatures." "Don't joke about these things, Duncan. I'm worried about you, about all of us." He noticed she was trembling. Duncan took her into his arms. He said under his breath, "I know what I have to do. It's just that it scares the hell out of me." Alistair looked up at Duncan, tears welling. "I knew it was too good to be true. I found you, and now I will lose you." Finding his courage, Duncan said, "I will return for you when all of this is over." Alistair just nodded, wiping tears from her cheeks. They sat at the edge of the basin, holding each other, as the water danced off the rocks. Alistair moved closer to Duncan. They came together, kissing softly. Duncan felt a joy he never expected. Just being with the woman he loved was enough. They held each other under the light of Lastra's larger moon. The falls lulled the soft music until peaceful sleep overtook them. They were not alone. Several wood nymphs silently kept watch through the night. The tiny woodfolk knew of a terrible danger lurking, with deadly designs. For that one night, Alistair and Duncan were safe. That's what I wanted to read to you tonight, and I hope you'll give this book a try. It's available at Amazon.com. Again, Dream Crossing by Matthew Vossler. And it's also available at our website. That's www.dreamz-work.com. Thank you and good night.